everyone, welcome back to my corner of the internet. As you guys can see from the title, today I wanted to share with you guys some products that I am unofficially panning behind the scenes. Naturally, I am a project panner at heart. I've always liked to use up my products. I've mentioned this in the past. When I first started my channel, I would see other content creators always showing new releases, and I would always tell myself that I had to finish what I had first before I went ahead and purchased a new one. And then 6 to 8 months into doing content, I decided to just venture off a little bit, and then I couldn't stop myself. So I've always been somebody who likes to use certain things up, and I wanted to share with you guys some behind the scenes products that I use often that you do not see in my project pan or in any project pan for that matter, just because I know that I can get myself motivated to use them and see if I can get myself to the goal that I have for each of these products. So if you're interested to see what products I am unofficially panning, stay tuned. All right, so these are in no particular order, and some of these are going to take me a lot longer than expected, but I am doing my best effort to make sure that I focus on these products, specifically now that I am this dark, so that way I can get the most use out of them, because it's very difficult for me to use them when I am back to my normal skin tone, and that's quite a few shades darker, or lighter, I should say. I currently, just so you guys know, I have on my MAC Studio Fix foundation in NC30, and that's still a little bit too light for me right now. So I made it work. I always make my foundations work. It is beautiful and flawless. Like, I forgot how much I love this. I've been wearing my makeup now a good 7 hours, and I haven't blotted once. So I forgot how much I love that foundation, you guys. I love it. Even the new one, I adore it even more. But you're not here for that. You're here to see what I'm panning. All right, so let's go backwards. Normally, I start out with my complexion products all the way down to my lips. So let's start out with the lips. There's 2 lipsticks that I only reach for when I have a really nice tan or it is beautiful out. And I'll continue to use these most likely into about the end of September, just because then when October hits, I like to use more of like these brownie burnt colors. But the 2 shades that I love to use, one I'm wearing on my lips, the other shade I already used on a video. So they have been on repeat in my everyday life, not necessarily on camera, but if I am just around the house or going places, these are the 2 lipsticks that I've been reaching for the most, because I know that I can't wear these any other day. And they're both by Marc Jacobs, I know. Don't come at me. They're fine. I'm good. The first one I want to share with you guys is Cora, and it's this burnt orange. It is the one that I'm wearing on my lips today. I'll give you guys swatches of these so you guys can see them. These still work wonderfully, and you guys, with a tan, these are gorgeous. I really, really hope Marc Jacobs comes back in general, because I just love their stuff. So this is the first lipstick, and I am so in love with these 2 shades. It's very difficult for me to find them, and I don't want to spend the money since I already have these and they work still fine. So I don't see why I need to repurchase these in a different brand. Until these go bad, I'm not doing that. The other shade is called So Sophia. This one's more of like a flamingo pink. You see the 2, like this has more orangey red and this one has more pink base to it. They're both stunning. They do look different on my skin when I do wear them, so I can tell the difference between both of them. This is the one that I wore in my last video, So Sophia, and this is the one I'm currently wearing right now. Both are stunning. You guys can see how creamy and beautiful. This I have already eaten lunch with. I've eaten breakfast with. I have done loads of laundry, went outside, hung my stuff, came back in, cleaned, cooked. I've done it all, and it's still, I just dabbed on a little bit because I had watermelon before I came up here, but it's so comfortable. Again, I always say that I feel like I love the drugstore for lip products, but sometimes the higher end just have better ingredients to allow my lips to not dry out. And this is a testament to these. So I'm trying to use these as much as possible. You guys can see that these are well loved. Like, I have been using these. It's just I have that much left of this one. I still need to use them as much as possible because I don't know when these are going to go bad. I already did, but I don't care. But I don't want them to get to a point where I just can't use them anymore because they're irritating me or they have some funky smell or texture. So we're using these as much as we possibly can. Let's move on to the eyes. So first and foremost, I'm trying to finish off this MAC eye primer, not necessarily because I don't like it. You are fully aware that I already have a backup of this. But because I inherited 2 more eye primers, both drugstore, I want to use this one up to then be able to use those up. Eye primers take me a long time to use up. This one is going up to a year in the end of October into November, but it is a beautiful product. I have no complaints about this one. I have talked this one to deaf ears. Like, you guys, if you haven't heard me talk about them, this is probably your first video because I am nonstop speaking about this one. This is my favorite. I just am genuinely panning it just to finish it off because I already have a backup and I have other ones that I want to use up as well. So this is one that I didn't put in a project pan because it's an everyday use kind of thing. So what's the point? But I do want to use this one up. Let's stick to eye products, shall we? I am trying to use up this eyeshadow stick and I'm doing a really good job at this one, let me tell you, because I've been rocking this one almost all summer long somehow. So this is the nude sticks in Rustique. As you guys can see, like, that's all that I have left is this little bit of it. I'll give you a swatch of this. This is starting to get dry because it's my older one, but it is that beautiful rustic color that I love. If you have been here for a long time, you're fully aware that I panned a Mally shadow stick that was very similar to this. It had a little bit more orange to it, but this one's gorgeous. I do want to try to use as much of this one up because it is drying up. I currently have this on my upper lash line and in my waterline. I typically use this either as an eyeliner, as a waterline, or as an outer V to then buff it out to darken my eye look. But it is a beautiful shade and I don't know how much time I have left with it because it is drying up, but it's still going. It's still going. It's still showing up. It's still doing what it needs to do. So I'm hoping to at least finish this off by the end of the year. This one can extend itself all the way up until November because we're still using these kind of shades in November. So I don't see myself having a problem finishing this one off. Next eye product I am unintentionally panning, but I do want to finish this one off, is my Makeup Forever Artist Liner in the shade M10. They no longer make them like this. They're not called this anymore. Now they have all different kinds of names. It's been a hot minute. This is the retractable version. This one I only use in my tight line. It is amazing, amazing, you guys. I love Makeup Forever eyeliners because they do such a great job at staying put. As you guys can see, I don't have black in my waterline. I have this one in my waterline, but it doesn't mesh. It doesn't go down. It's a really, really good one. I don't know how much of this I have left because once you roll it up, you can't roll it back down. So I'm there. I'm getting there. It's just taking me, I think I've been using this one all year long so far, and I'm still not done with it. And we're already in the 8th month of the year. So I want to finish this off. You might see this in a future project plan. I don't know because I can't track how well, but in my own everyday life, I am using this one up. Next off comes from here. So as you guys know, I do have the bronzer that is in here in a project pan. So I am going to cover that one up, but I am trying to use this one as much as possible. This is my least favorite highlighter in this whole entire bunch. The other ones have gotten great usage out, but this one has glitter in it and I don't like it on my face, and then it's also way too light. So how I found to use this one is in my inner corner. So that's what I've been using almost every day in the summertime, and you can see a dip already forming in the center. It's gonna be hard for you guys to see it, but I could see a little bit of divot. I don't use a lot every day, but it is getting used. I'm curious to see how much of it I can use, at least hit pan on it. I don't think I'll use the whole entire pan, but at least hit pan. Some of you have recommended to break this apart and put it in my lotion. I have considered that, but I just feel like that's gonna be too messy for me. I don't have a lotion that'll be easy enough for me to put in. And I also share my lotion with the rest of my family, and I highly doubt that they would want to look glittery and glowy. So I am doing the best that I can with this one. There is another highlighter that I am intending on using in the winter time. So this is only gonna get used up until I start to lose my tan, because there's another one in a face palette that I do go back to that's more of a pinky color that I'd like to use for the winter. So this might be in here for quite a few years, you guys. It might be the last pan in the whole thing. We'll see when we get there how I want to finish that one off, if I even want to. But I at least want to see pan. I at least want to see some sort of usage, and I found a nice way to use it, and I like how it looks in my inner corner. So That's what I'm using that one for. Last eye product is this. So these are Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So I have put this in an Anastasia quad. I bought this for like $1 when they were $1. I don't know if they sell them anywhere individually as $1. Like now you have to buy eyeshadows to get this for $1. I know at some point I was just able to add these to my cart for $1 and I bought a bunch of them because they're so sturdy and so well made. But anyway, the point is I put 4 Makeup Geek eyeshadows in this quad, and my intentions are to at least hit pan or get more usage out of them. Makeup Geek are my oldest eyeshadows in my whole entire collection, besides some Too Faced ones that I depotted out of a palette. The singles that actually genuinely came as singles were my Makeup Geek, and I want to try to at least hit pan on some of these. I do think that I will with some of these, and some I may not, but I think I can get a lot of use out of all 4 of these shades even into the fall. So the first one is Creme Brulee, and this one I feel like is going to be the first one to hit pan on because this is the one that I use a lot. As you guys can see how dusty this palette is. Then I have Latte. This is the second one. It's more of a little bit of cooler tone, but it does bring down my eye look. I don't like to use things that are way too orangey. Then we have Barcelona Beach, which is a little bit of a different undertone than Latte. And then we have the infamous Cocoa Bear. So I'm trying to just keep these in here whenever I reach for them, whenever I feel the need to use them up, I will. Like I'll use them gradually. Like I said, I'm not panning any eyeshadows, but if I can get more use out of my Makeup Geek, I really do, because they are my oldest and I tend to neglect them a lot because I'm trying to use other ones. So I have these in these quad, and you guys can clearly see how much I've been used. So we're working on those. I love to just rotate my stuff. So that'll be in until I can't use them because they're way too warm base for me. All right, the rest of the stuff is more face products. Now I'm not really panning certain things, and I'm not bringing them into this video because it's more of like common sense kind of stuff. Like foundation, I'm rotating. I'm not really using anything up, trying to see what I can use. But today I veered off my NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer to put on my MAC Pro Longwear, or not my MAC Pro Longwear, my MAC Studio Fix foundation. So certain things I'm not using. Concealer, again, I'm rotating. My Lancome one is my oldest one, but I got some drugstore ones that I'm rotating in. Same thing with powder. I'm not really using too many different ones. So these are the things that I was able to grab that I know I'm trying to genuinely use up and pan. I don't know how long it'll take, but we're here. First one is the Anastasia Cream Bronzer, you guys. This is like my second year trying to finish this off. So here's where we're at. This only works for me until my tan dies, because then it becomes way too orange base for me. If I were to use this in the dead of winter, it'll turn the undertone of all of my foundations very orange, and you can tell the difference between my neck and my face. So I can't use this one in the wintertime. It has to be used only when I have a tan. So right now I have it on and I've been using it all summer long. No problem whatsoever. I will be able to use this all the way up until probably around the end of October, and then I have to put this away again. So we're trying to see how much I can get out of this. I don't think I'll finish it this year. It'll probably be done by next year, which these typically take me 2 to 3 years to use up because I only use them for about 6 months out of the year. So if you really put the timing that I've used this, we're coming up to a full year of using this. If I were to add last year's 6 months and this year's 6 months, it'll be a full year of this, and it's still working fine. There is no irritation or anything, but I do want to use this completely up because I'm still in the hunt for a cream bronzer that'll last me a while, but I can use it all year round without it having to be pulled away when I'm dark or when I'm light. Up next is my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. This is the old original formula. This is the NC35. I don't know if I can get away with using this one in the winter, so we're gonna try to use this as much as possible. I use this every day for touch-ups on my face, to just add to where I want just a little bit more coverage to perfect my skin. It's more of a targeted powder than it is an all over the face powder. So it's gonna take me a while, but this is something that when I can use it, I don't know if in the dead of summer I'll be able to, the dead of winter if I can use it, but we're gonna see how far I can use it because this is my first year using it. I do wanna use this up because I know that they have reformulated it, but I do love that one. Then we have this. This is going to be the end of me. This is a MAC blush, and it's in the compact, the Shiny Pretty Things Face Compact. And the blush is called Sweater Wetter. Oh my gosh, I never even knew that. It's called Sweater Wetter. My kids would love that. So I've been unintentionally just panning this, trying to use this. I wore this one yesterday out to a birthday party, and it withstood the outdoors. It's a beautiful blush, but I am so into my cream and liquid blushes that I just can't get off of that bandwagon. As much as I try, you guys, I can't. Today I'm wearing 2 different cream blushes on my face. I mixed them together. This is going to take me quite a few years to finish off. Once I'm done this blush, I could get rid of this face palette, but I can't. I'm going to try to do this in the wintertime. Right now, it's interesting because when I wear this now, it turns a little bit more peachier and lighter on my skin. And as I lose my tan, this looks a little bit deeper. So I'm trying to use it up. I can tell that I have used quite a bit of it up because you can see that those lines are dissipating in the design. I got to remember to keep using this more. I'm going to have to give myself goals with this one, at least to use it on the weekends or maybe 3 out of the 7 days, so I can at least get some more use out of this, because there are some months where I'm not using this at all, and I should, because I do want to just completely get this out of my collection so I can be one face palette down. Last but not least is this. I did pan the highlighter in the light version. So currently I'm working on the darker version. So this is something that I wear every day as underpainting. I can't wear this on I tried to wear it on my décolleté. It's way too gold based that you can clearly see it. Maybe with a little bit, like a light hand, I can get away with it. But I do mix it in with this bronzer on my face, and it gives me a glowy look under my cheeks. And that's what you see as the glow under, besides a little bit of highlighter, but you can see the glow because I don't put highlighter down here. You can see the glow. So this is a really, really pretty highlighter, and it's creamy and it's still working fine. I haven't had any issues with it, but you guys can see that that's what it'll look like on my décolleté. So I kind of have to like buff it really good into my skin, and it still leaves like an undertone, like a goldy undertone. So I have to be careful with how I use it on my body. I should use it more on my shoulders. Like today I have a different one, but I should use it more on my shoulders. Maybe that's how I'll use it more, but I do love it. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'm trying to use up that highlighter as well, panning it behind the scenes, trying to see how far I can take it until I can no longer use it as well. That will be done using when I'm done using this one, because these two go together, and once I can't use this, that means I can't use this anymore. Those are the products that I am currently panning behind the scenes and not in any project pan. I do not want to add too many project pans to my life, but I'm always using things up. I'm always conscious, and there are things that I just don't care to rotate often, and there are some things where I mainly concentrate on them and then veer off 1 or 2 days a week to use other things. But these are the fun ones. These I'm enjoying. I'm not using this every day. I'm using this every day because I need to, but like my lip products, I still switch up, and I'm intentionally using them. Same thing with the eyes. I'm trying to figure out how to make it work where I can use them up, but not having to force myself to just have one eye look all the time. I am wanting to challenge myself to see how long I can go without switching my eye look and using the same look over and over, and see how long I can take without bursting at the seams where I need to use something else. I'm curious. Or how can, if I were to use, like for instance, like these shadows over and over with this, how can I make it change or look different every day to quench that thirst that I want a different look, but still using the same products without burning myself out? I'm curious to see how long I can pan a look. That's my thing. I'm going to do that behind the scenes and report back to you guys, because that's a challenge I want to do on my own, and then let you guys know how that went. And maybe I'll do a whole get ready with me explaining the whole entire experience with you guys. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. That just popped in my head. All right, guys, that's all that I have. Let me know what you are panning behind the scenes, or if you're doing it on Instagram, if you're doing it on YouTube, wherever it is that you're doing. I love to use my products up. I love to see things finished, but I also like to rotate and use what I have. Thank you guys again for all of your support, your like, comment, shares. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. There is another video on the screen if you want to continue your journey with me today. Thank you for clicking on this video. Appreciate it very, very much. God bless. I'm out.